else. But we're gonna make it. I think we're gonna make it. Yeah. You know what, John? Some guy was DMing me. He said, "I made it." I said, "What, bro? What's going on?" He said, "Bro, I just got hacked." I said, "Congratulations, you made it. You are right now actually an OG. You are an expert in NFT spaces." He was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, and I will send you certification for it." He was like,
Right.
I said, "If you will haven't been drained yet, it must be because if it haven't, it's mean that you're still actually just a beginner. But if it has been, that's mean you're an expert." Oh shit.
I got one of my security friends into crypto just like a couple of months ago. He's like 10 years. He's from the military. He's all about security. He got a hardware wallet. He got everything secure. He got a couple of $100 into his wallet. And then he went and fell for, he's like, I clicked on some links on Reddit. They had really nice NFTs. And I went over to Twitter and I clicked on the links and it took me to a web page and they didn't send me my NFT.
Well, they took NFTs from him, I guess.
I told him he was lucky that he had such an empty wallet, or else he would have got drained right away. Like, fucking welcome to
Right.
crypto. Yeah.
Shit. This is gonna be crappy year. I just teaching some algorithm how to. I was trying to generate some matrices, and I did tested the Twitter algorithm on 3 different versions how I can manipulate things. Well, it was looking quite promising. Still, even you cannot do much things because they track you. Uh, but yeah, I mean, what's your opinion on the Twitter algorithm? Did you go around it?
What's the Twitter algorithm, I guess?
Now it's in open source. You know about this?
The Twitter algorithm for
Yeah,
Twitter?
yeah.
Like
It's
the
not.
code base for Twitter?
Yeah, yeah. It's an
Yeah,
open source.
they
It's called
Elon open sourced the ranking algorithm, and it looks like more than replies, getting likes on your tweet is like 30x return on visibility.
But bro, you know what? Did you see who's the author? Is Elon.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be funny because I guess he's not going to get that much in trouble. I mean, there's all the concept of if you wrote the code, you're responsible sort of deal, but you know, he didn't write the code and he can argue that point if he ever gets called in.
Nice. I did not know he open sourced it. That's just gonna get weirder.
Yeah. Saw an interesting tweet of someone using GPT to analyze new tokens and stuff to see if it's safe and things like that. Like, you know, there's always do your own research, but yeah, they were claiming that with GPT, it's like instead of hours, it's maybe 30
Seconds.
minutes.
Yeah. Nice.
So I got to add that tweet saved somewhere. I got to read it at some point.
Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be the year of AIs. Like, yeah.
Hell yeah, there's much applications have been built like right now, and I'm working with some couple things also too, like for detecting smart contract. And yeah, I think next week also trying to make something open source, so kind of allow people to get access to it. With deep learning, machine learning implementing into the blockchain, I saw huge advantage. Like I have been last 3 months training, scaling, optimizing, pre-processing data, smart contracts every fucking day. Just this morning, there is over fucking 1,800 smart contracts have been deployed on Etherscan. Sometimes I'm like, who the fuck is like deploying that much smart contracts? You know, like I don't get it.
Well, I kind of like the Chat GPT model where it's like you release a feature and then you learn from the users and train your models by the users using it. That's use the users as part of your development system. Like when they ask a question, then you know it's a good question to answer. Like,
Well, it depends. I mean, in my opinion, there's still much things are missing from ChatGPT. It's limited, but if you pay
oh, of
to
course.
the full version, yeah, like to the full version right now, it's costing almost monthly. I think over $2,000. You know, with the API, yeah. But you get more better, of course, features, more accurate result, and Yeah, I mean, it's costing me right now ChatGPT per month like almost $280, something like that for the API. And I do test quite a lot of things. I have to be honest, it is promising. It's like it's not about the amount of the data what they have been feeding in, but the quality of the data what they have been collecting. It's
Hmm.
insane, very good data. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Italy was actually blocking for security privacy purposes. Actually, by the way, most of the breaches was in Italy actually a few weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
What was happening with ChatGPT? Like people was getting access to another people's really history, chat, payments, and
Yeah.
stuff like
Can
that.
you give us a rundown of how that happened? Like, what was the
Well,
hack? How did they hack ChatGPT?
money. Well, they was manipulating actually the
Sure, of
ChatGPT.
course.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's actually a prompt, like this called jailbreaking or what the fuck do they call
Hmm.
that's new term now. Uh, yeah, so you can manipulate it. You can ask things not to do, but you're feeding that data in, right? You're feeding
Hmm.
that in. First, you're creating like huge an angel profile of the chat GPT saying your name is this X person and you're gonna do this and that. And then every now and then you're asking something what is against the content privacy, what OpenAI is setting up, you know.
Yeah.
But then yeah, kind of like it's softening the data time to time. It's really like psychology mm, manipulating, like kind of a brainwash. Imagine like how you're actually
Oh,
trying.
like it's
It's
social
social
engineering,
engineering.
but on
Yeah, it's
yeah,
social
yeah,
exactly. But on text, yeah, that
on
was
an
like
AI.
to me fascinating. To see people how much they can go far, man. I never saw something like this. How much human are. But yeah, it's just
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. Yeah, it's promising times.
Humans are the first. Well, humans are just an AI. Like they can do amazing things. They're greed. Oh, so they just manipulated the AI into revealing and going and stealing information?
Yeah, it was able to drop actually SQL tables. It was able to give some another people's credit card information. In
Nice.
Italy, was people using ChatGPT almost in every aspect of the business. There was some like SaaS applications, company
Yep.
information there. I mean, come on, seriously, take it easy, bro. Like, shit. Yeah, but I mean, in my opinion, it still is this technology is going to break the capitalism so badly soon. I mean, maybe next two to
I
five
think the
years.
opposite.
Yeah. Do you
I
think
think
so?
this is I think this has been driving capitalism for the last 20 years, 10 years. Like when Amazon makes a decision, they ask humans, but they also ask AIs. Like Amazon is driven by AIs. Like Microsoft is driven by AIs. Like that's why companies can predict 10 years into the future. Like, yeah, of course they're using. They've been using AI. Like, yeah.
Well, hmm. Well, yeah, I know. But yeah, there was actually quite much, Chrome extensions, fake extension I saw last 1 week. Have like ChatGPT fake extension, when you're actually installing the extension, they will get access to your keylogs and just the browser history. It was containing some malwares. And
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, quite a lot scams hack have been happening because of ChatGPT or all this AI, stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, the pattern is typically a new tool comes out, the hackers use it as a weapon, and then the defenders learn how to build a defense. And then the hackers make the weapon, beat the defense, the defenders make a better one that goes back three, four times. And then the defense is really good, and the hackers have to go find a different tool. Like that's the
Yeah,
pattern.
well, I mean,
There
some
was a
hackers are
vulnerability
using,
on. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
but I mean, some hackers are using trying to get out the worst part of ChatGPT, like I could say, where they're trying to get into like how you can use ChatGPT to do stuff to you, and then in the end, you're playing OpenAI.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, like just I think in the last day or two, vulnerability of Wi-Fi came out. And when your computer goes to sleep mode, it sends like a power saver packet and it's not encrypted. And then the hacker can take over your communication with the Wi-Fi access point and inject anything they want into your traffic. And that's like,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
interesting actually.
But is Wi-Fi weak? Wi-Fi is just a tool. The tool comes out, hackers learn how to break it.
Yep.
The defenders learn how they broke it. They patch it. They make it stronger. The hackers break it. Like, yeah, that's normal.
So, John, how do you see right now hex situation? There's people are with the big wallets or holding big hex.
So
what's your take on that?
So up until recently, no big influencer ever talked positively about Hex. So Hex was created, say, 3 years ago, and it had maximum FUD. It's not allowed on CoinMarketCap. It's not allowed on CoinGecko. It's allowed on Nomics. It's up on Yahoo Finance. So maybe like half of the coin listing sites even list it with having a value. But in the last 2 months, I think we're at 5 or 6 influencers are now talking positively about Hex. So big names, Crypto BitBoy, Ivan on Tech, like names in the crypto influencer space are now referencing and talking about Hex. And they're like, why isn't this major coin listed properly on your website? Coin market cap. So we're starting to see the gatekeeping loosen up, and so I don't think it's even started.
Yeah, there's quite much
Yes.
gatekeepers about Hex. Yeah, I have been seeing quite lately. Yeah,
but it's getting beaten down. The gates are getting beaten down, and so I don't think it's even started yet. Like it's not even go throw it on CoinMarketCap. You'll see it's not even started yet. It's at 201. It's not allowed on the front page. It doesn't have a value. Like, yeah. So yeah, I think it's. From a security standpoint, it has no admin keys. It has no team. It has no infrastructure. It's just you and the contract. There's no pools. There's no vulnerable points as far as I'm concerned. It was triple audited, and it's basically just you and the contract doing your shit with no external infrastructure. So yeah.
Yeah, that's very. Hopefully, with the PulseChain was coming up. Hopefully we can see good things. Yeah. How much you're familiar with the AI poison attacks?
The AI poison?
Yeah.
What's an AI poison? I don't know.
Okay. Well, usually is an attack is a tricking machine learning models by feeding into new information, similar to what happened with ChatGPT. So you can manipulate the training data sets by, let's say Alexi is a senior researcher at some global risk, whatever it's, and then you can create a bias, from this data sets, and you're feeding that into the training data sets.
Mm-hmm.
So it's technically similar to how. Do you remember any about Thai chat bot of Microsoft?
Yeah. I remember.
It was in 2016, something like that. It was actually, it's
before he went
approach.
racist.
Yeah, exactly. Before so sorry about that. Yeah. So the same approach, can be used to teach a system that particular type of malware is safe, or particularly it can be about behave, a completely normal thing.
I did that to antivirus.
Oh, so you might be poisoning shit.
Yeah. Okay, so I would make a couple of lines of code that I would use in my attack payloads. Like I would reference my own context, I would find my own pointers, I would get to memory, and I would modify memory. And then they would flag this as like malware, right? So then I would go and find a corporate customer, and I would build that in part of their defensive structure. I would get them to have like part of their licensing mechanism would do this for obfuscation and defense. And so then I would build this into corporate products. And then, of course, it would get flagged, right? But then I would go and submit it as a corporate product and train them to not flag this line of code. And then they would have to whitelist it because it's a main corporate product. And then it would unban that line of code as malware.
Yeah, that's very interesting, actually. So you have been actually doing that, but in the mostly in the like outside the machine learning. Yeah, well, this is one of those kind of like poisoning, like the data sets, by feeding. This is actually what happened to ChatGPT also like a few weeks ago. Similar work here because OpenAI are using the feeding the input data into the set for training purposes. And people are feeding. Of course, they have been labeled some specific stuff, but we are humans. We can manipulate things very easy. And then another attack. What I have been trying to teach also my algorithms called fuzzing. So let's say a legitimate, very cool software developer and tester are using mostly like fuzzing software to generate some random sample of inputs and to crash an application or to find even any loops or backdoor or whatever it's. So this kind of version of machine learning also can be generate inputs, or mostly focused to create some sample of inputs to break down mostly text strings can be most likely have been used. It's very, very strong methods have been used in many applications to break down really in a strong layer of security because machine learning can generate millions in a matter of seconds. It's an automation system. So yeah, it's really very happy to see that like these promising attacks in the future. There's many, of course, security experts are working to build layers on it, like how to defend or create machine learning. Yeah, like hygiening. Yeah,
So there is an OWASP top 10 and top 5.
Yeah.
So the OWASP top 10, adversarial attack, data poisoning, model inversion, membership interface, model stealing, corrupted packets, transfer learning, model skewing, output integrity, neural net reprogramming.
Yeah, those are actually very good stuff.
And OWASP gives you a breakdown of the attack and then the recommended mitigations and how to prevent each one. So yeah, OWASP top 10, machine learning. Yeah. And
awesome. They do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was choosing between machine learning and blockchain. And
which one you was choosing? Blockchain.
Yeah.
Sexy, man.
But
blockchain is sexy.
It is sexy. I'm kind of jealous though when I hear about these machine learning attacks, and it's like, oh, I want to be there.
Well, I mean, with machine learning, you can create like there's really phishing emails are more advanced than any human writer. Like with machine learning, of course, we're talking about like neural networks and so on.
Oh yeah,
because it's
but
not
we've
like
had
involved, Yeah.
in the hacking side, we've had that for 8 years. Like it's like, yeah, on the hacking side, we've been like, we just call them scripts. I mean, like, is it an intelligent feedback loop with like some sort of a database that it draws from, tokenization and lookup tables? Yeah, but we call that a script. Like, it's okay. But yeah, no, there's nothing. The balance of power has not fundamentally shifted one way or the other with machine learning. Like good side and bad side, like machine learning does correlation on networks and it does network traffic analysis and it identifies malware moving around the enterprise. And it's like, yeah, we for 5-10 years, we've been using machine learning in our corporate defenses. Like, yeah. But now it's open to normal people, and normal people have a fighting chance because they can get a hold of machine learning. They can do good or bad things with it. But it's like the corporations, we've been using this for 10 years. Like, it's just stupid people now get access. So, yeah.
Well said. Well said. So Hedera was shutting down a few days ago. Was getting some hacked. Do you know the H bar? blockchain?
No,
Yeah.
no.
So the HBAR Foundation was getting a few days ago some breach, and they were shutting down. I think they had a $100 million exploiting. It was very weak, yeah, and
Yeah.
it did take quite good stuff. Like, I mean, based on the founder, what he was revealing, he didn't reveal much. He said that there was some exploiting happening there. Yeah, so it's interesting to see that
Oh, nice.
what's going on. Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of funny. On the PulseChain testnet, we have dumbass people trying to DDoS the network by putting garbage transactions in, and they're like trying to attack the testnet. It's like it's been fun to watch.
Yeah. So, what is the concerns or the challenges you might think PulseChain will face in the future?
Well, kind of like EOS died to garbage being on the network and borking out the network. If it's either faces the choice of having the gas fee shoot up or having DDoS possible. So that'll be a challenge. The integrity of the nodes themselves and achieving a large enough distribution of nodes so that like they can't be DDoSed or there's no centralization of those nodes. So I mean, I would hope to see 2,000 to 4,000 starting nodes for processing. The communication to users of what websites should be used and trusted. So there's say there's 30 new websites, right? How do you know which ones to go to? And people don't have a mechanism for adopting a bunch of new data and behaviors quickly. So like what is normal? What does a website typically ask for? What does a malware website look like? How do you know to trust what website? So integrity of trust. I think data leaking and scams are a problem. We're going to have a number of new products that promise to be Tornado Cash 2.0 or whatever, and they're just going to fundamentally fuck up security, and they're just going to harm people that use it. So we're going to have a lot of systems that boot up and immediately fall over and hurt people when they fall over.
Yeah, those are it's funny actually when you said about the security part. Like a few days ago, there was a project they was going to be released publicly, and they had been raising like 1.8 million. You know, which is a quite good amount of money, like to start up as a project. Yeah. So I went to them smart contract, and just less than 5 minutes, I saw a bug. So they're actually, taking people's money and they're locking this money for some period of time. But there was a gap. If I haven't been telling that to them, because I know who they are, so of course, as a friend, I said to them, hey, you have actually a gap, you have a backdoor there. I mean, with one single transaction, someone will drain the entire money what you have in your pool. So there's two different functions. One is transfer, another one from transfer, And this smart contract they had just transfer, And the developer didn't know anything about the from transfer. I said, from transfer, you can manipulate it and you can get the coins out from there with single transaction. And that's it, case closed.
Nice. Right.
And this is a simple thing, this is not that complicated. There is complicated cases, but I mean, when you see this kind of thing, then you think of the security. Fuck me, if the security is going to be like that, how the fuck we can trust to, It's not about the smart contract itself, but about the developer who is behind it, because still we're relying on that developer, how much it's going to take the security serious, Yeah, hopefully with PulseChain we will see good cases.
Oh,
is that V3, right?
Yeah, it is V3 testnet, yeah. I mean, I almost see it as you need to see something tested under load, which in blockchain means value. Like when something can hold $1 million and it doesn't get stolen, and it holds $10 million and $100 million and $1 billion and it doesn't get stolen. It's like, okay, it's probably secure. Probably. Yeah. We'll see. But the more hacks that happen, the more valuable security people become, and security products and security machine learning and security scanners. And like, if there was zero attacks, why would you invest $1 in security? Because there's zero attacks. Like, you would be stupid to invest $1 in security if there was zero chance you would get hacked. So only because people get hacked do people spend money on security. It's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. But yeah, so
yeah,
please go ahead.
We're coming up with the 2 hours. We could jump in another topic, or we could wind down for the day. I am open to any suggestions.
Yeah, I gotta go get breakfast now.
Yeah. Well, it was a fun security Saturday, and thanks all. Same time. I don't publish it ahead of time, so only the people that care about security show up, and the people that don't, well, fuck them. They'll get attacked, and you'll survive evolution. So.
Yep.
And all right. Well, thanks ASV and Elsa and everybody. I mean, Elsa, do you want to go for another deep dive into cryptos? You're knocking off for the day. Where you at, Elsa?
Well, I'm mostly right now, like last few weeks, I have been diving into like smart contract attacks, like really critical attacks. I don't mean like, because it's interesting to see what kind of attacks might break down the smart contract. In Hackathon, we saw that people was using fucking ChatGPT to hack the smart contract, and they did successfully. Yeah, but mostly I'm trying to build an algorithm where I can understand those hacks,
Nice.
where can read those hacks even if we are inputting them in two different, versions of context. Because still in the end, we can name functions, we can put some variables, it might define something, like the weight of the word, it might define something else, but the execution of that function, it might execute something totally different, right? So I'm trying to get close to those gaps. So mostly what I have been, it's called dust attack. Are you familiar with the dust attack? Yeah. Dust attack and the long range attack and smart contracts are really, really it's very, very sneaky and very intelligent, sophisticated attacks that I have been seeing. And of course, the time stamp manipulation attack also for smart contract, that's quite also very heavy, I have been seeing personally. But yeah,
What is it? What is that attack?
Soluble attack, there is what I have been seeing, but the long range attack, like let's say an attacker can create a fork,
Okay,
so
we'll do another hour.
Okay.
No. They make a fork like a test net.
Yeah, it's simple have been made, and then you will from an old block what have been attempts to the rewriting the blockchain history and the potential leading it to double the spending. Like double the spending, and then when you double the spending, it will create some malicious actions there. Yeah, that's how it works. Simple.
Okay, so they're like spending testnet money.
Technically, yes, because people are greedy right now. They won't save money from the testnet. So people want to, the long range attack, where also, the dust attack, it sends the tiny amount of crypto, to multiple addresses, and aiming to those de-anonymize the users or burden the network with some numeric unspent transaction outputs. And that is also another dust attack how it's been executed. Yeah, so getting investigating around those attacks. There's more attacks, but I don't want to go deeply because we're on the spaces. It can really, really create very good backdoor to you, as in security as like profession. I mean,
nice.
It's just nice to go around those.
Yeah, it's a whole new world of these weird new attack patterns, and like how does it now happen? Like, you know,
Well, if you count them, there are only like 20 attacks. So new attacks there is. It's like not
well,
common attacks, you know.
I mean, there's Discord. That's an attack vector. Like three of them, but we'll just roll it into one, right? Um, uh, what other? I mean, outside of all of the phishing, but like inside of a contract, you have exposed variables. You have proxy accounts, so something can be switched at runtime. You have pre-signed access rights that can be abused. I don't know. Yeah, maybe 20, maybe 50, like somewhere in there. It's under 100. Hey, Addicted,
Yeah.
nice to see you.
Hey, Addicted, how you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome. I've been listening for a while, but this is one of my favorite conversations because this is exactly what started me learning, right? Is I was on the other side of one of these set approval for all malicious links, and I've gone down the dusting rabbit hole many times. There's so many dustings that happen, and even if it cost them $10,000 to send it out, and they make 12,000 on the back end, they'll keep doing it, and it's crazy to go down rabbit holes and find that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think right now most of what I have been seeing is called like Merkle tree attacks or attacking, you know, where let's say an attacker can exploit weakness in the blockchain, and if it's they have been implementing some Merkle tree implementation, potentially allowing them to execute transaction proofs, you know, or manipulating the state of the blockchain. That will allow them to fuck up the smart contract.
And nesting, I think nesting or hiding your actual approval functions, that seems to be something I come up with a lot.
Ooh,
And they'll
go
hide
on,
it, right?
Play.
They'll hide it in proxies. It seems to be the newest step I'm finding, I think.
So, like, I approve your contract to move ETH, and then you pass it to a proxy, or what's that look like? What do you mean?
Yes, very, very, very simple contract, but you giving proxy authorization as well. Exactly that. You're giving approval to ETH, to Bitcoin, to whatever else they nested into that proxy. Where you set approval for all, you now gave access to that proxy to everything ETH, USD. USD seems to be one of the biggest ones, and ETH. So all your wrapped ETH as well, 100% through proxy.
And remember, USDC does gasless approval, so it does off-chain message signing, and like if someone got you, you won't even see it in your token approvals because it's off-chain.
Exactly that. And that's that's one of the hardest things to track, because I know everyone says revoke, and I actually use Etherscan for token approvals. Your USDC,
Yep.
it's an off-chain approval. You are exactly correct. And it's one of those, I don't tell people, but if it's something if I go in and I see a set approval for all on a couple contracts, I just know that there may be some compromisation inside there. So just move everything, right? Because you never know that USDC, exactly that. You don't know if you gave approval for everything and you signed it off chain. Or it's stored off chain. I'm sorry. It's stored off chain.
I think for me, most sophisticated attack was hiding three function executed into one transaction. That's one. And then the second was time ticking. I don't know how many of you knows about this attack. So let's say you have been, you know, interacting with one wallet address with 10 different projects. Let's say John have been interacting with 10 different projects, and one of them will get, you know, hacked the smart contract, or have been interact with some, you know, smart contract. The hacker will be able to execute transaction and will keep that trigger until when you have some valuable NFT, let's say over 5 ETH, 3 ETH, 1 ETH, you know, and they will drain it. Like this happened a few days to one of my friends. They was draining fucking the wallet entirely. 2 years, 2 fucking years. They was waiting.
Yeah, so exactly that. So if you do a set approval for all, they're going in and they're looking for something else you've already approved or you're going to approve. Exactly that. So any NFT of value, once you sign an OpenSea contract to put it up for sale, that NFT now is no longer in your wallet once you approve that other contract.
Oh
Yeah,
man, I mean, I
I've
hate
seen
it.
exactly that firsthand. That's
Yeah,
exactly what happened to me.
I like.
Identically.
How are you familiar with the balance disorder attack?
With the what? I'm sorry?
Balance disorder attack.
No, please go down that hole. I've never heard those
Okay.
words put together.
Oh man, last few weeks I've been collecting in my database over 700 different type of smart contracts. Well, every smart including some type of attack, but most are common what they are like between that data sets just to train the algorithm. So let's say an attacker exploits an order balance, with updates in a smart contract. So let's say causing a double spending and then unauthorizing action. When you're unauthorizing some action, you're able to manipulate the smart contract as you like. So simple. But some people think that is complex to understand. I think, I don't know. Do you get the point now?
Yeah, it makes sense. And I think these are conversations every Twitter space should be having. I think security conversations on what's out there, what to watch for, should take precedent over literally everything. This should be the number one topic on Twitter, on Discord, on every communication forum we have. This should be the number one conversation.
And speaking of that, next week's Twitter space for Security Saturday will be token gated. You can get the NFT up on Rare, looks Rare, Foundation. It's a 5 ETH floor. So I guess only the strong will survive and the wealthy. So.
Joan, is that was like a commercial moment?
Yo. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard. No one cares about security until they care about security, and that's usually after they got hit. So, yeah, it's fun.
And so true. And I know everyone, like, and that's why I try and share my stories of being, no Vaseline as much as I can, because if I could share my pain before someone goes through the pain, and let them know, like, these rabbit holes are worth going down, it's totally worth it. I know my kids who are up and coming, and because they play Roblox and Minecraft, and I've been in crypto for a couple of years, like, it's something not native to them, and they know about security because we talk about it often. So hopefully that can trickle into their community and their friends as, this conversation widens and goes into their peer groups.
I mean, certainly in crypto, we're starting to onboard people with security in mind. So it's good. Like, I would bet we probably have 50 to 80% penetration of hardware wallets. And it's like, name me some other place in the world that's using secure enclave, like physical hardware security. Like maybe Knox, maybe security people. But what do you got?
Yeah,
Joan,
no,
how much? No,
that's a
sorry.
good point. No, go ahead. I was going to say that's a good point because
Yeah.
like we were kind of talking earlier about, everybody actually going through the security first. That's, the whole $1 million, right? If you run $1 million through a contract and it isn't malicious, it isn't hacked, then we could quote unquote say it's secure. Same thing with regular people in their crypto wallets. They want to pretend they have $1 million in there before they lose it. And I think that's crucial, right? I'd much rather lose $1,000 or $10,000 than $1 million. So it's plan like you have $1 million sitting there. I love that.
How much of you familiar with those like on ERC 721 attack approval race condition? Are you familiar with that? Like, let's say if you have some approving function that allows the owner to grant permission to another user to take their NFT. If the owner tries to change the leading, they will be untied to change it. Or potentially, if the owner trying to change the approval user while it's transferring in the process, in that time, the race of trying to prove the condition occur, it will be non-happening. So, hello, bye bye, see you later. It's just gone. By the way, there's much smart contracts have this fucking issue. No one is giving attention to that shit.
Those are the exact things I'm looking for on a regular basis, because the most common one I see when you set approval for all, a script, a machine learning situation goes through and sees if you have any NFTs of value with a WETH offer sitting on them with the contract already approved through OpenSea. And then one by one, all those NFTs will leave your wallet within the next couple transactions. So that's probably the most common one I've seen. But it happens all the time. It happens every day to somebody we know.
John, have you seen the metadata manipulation? Like, this has been happening quite a lot.
On NFTs?
Yeah, how you can manipulate the metadata. You can get access
And to attack payloads, or what do you mean?
Yeah.
What's that?
Let's
Fun.
say, okay, so all right. So here's more fun attack.
Yeah.
Let's say if the smart contract on ERC 721 and stored metadata off chain, okay, let's say using IPFS or some centralized servers. So if an attacker get access, to the off chain storage, it's mean they can manipulate the metadata what have been, implemented to the NFT. So potentially they will fuck up the tokens what have been pre-saved, and then also the value of it. It's fucked. That's it. You can manipulate. You can do whatever you want with it. And that's will allow them to access control. It's very, very. Some people have been done it. I saw on some cases. I was reading. Yeah, those cases have been done. This kind of attack. It's quite clever.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, this is new territory. I mean, attack, defense, it's like, but at the end of the day, I get paid either way, so I'm happy. I don't care. Highest bidder, I'll work for anyone. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, imagine an algorithm, machine learning AI. You can just put the smart contract and this is what I'm trying to accomplish right now. I'm trying to accomplish, putting the smart contract, just the smart contract, into the bar search, and then it will simulate your real-time data and sees what is the weakness, what is the backdoors, where is might be, can be used to create an attack or can be used against the smart contract, and so on and so on. Like right now, I have been accomplishing 7 different attacks, like teaching the algorithm how to identify those attacks, even in different variable, in different term of, text, we can name it whatever we want. So yeah, it's very clever, like teaching something like that, because I'm not looking to the name, I'm looking to the what's going to execute. That's most important to me.
And also looking at the blockchain and see like if the last person that interacted with this got attacked. Yeah, all sorts of things. I mean,
yeah, I'm waiting when OpenAI will fund me, like a couple $1 million, please. Drop on my back, baby.
Well, it kind of works the other way, where it's like after you build something, then they'll pay you to like do more. Like
yeah, that's my goal. That's my goal. Seriously. By the way, I mean, that's because like last 6 months I have been suffering of many licensing issues. When I'm trying to be more regulated, they fuck me up. They don't respect me, I feel. And when you say to them, this is decentralized, this is, you can you can see everything, they say, no, you're protecting hackers. Bro, come on, what the fuck is this? Who the fuck was making these policymakers? I mean,
But if you build weapons, then it's research. You can build weapons without the regulatory oversight. And then they'll pay you to build the countermeasure to the weapons you just built that are out there publicly that everyone's using. Come to the dark side.
I love that. You know, we have dark 8 months a year.
Yes.
We're mostly zombies. No, I'm joking.
Who's going to pay you to stop attacks that don't exist?
Right? Like,
That'd be
that's my
crazy.
point.
Yeah.
That's my point. Like, here we go. Now you get me, man.
Yeah. Just saying. DEF CON's coming
by the way,
up.
I'm trying to make something really good. Like, you know, I'm trying to make something really good.
Nice. Hey, Chris, you popped up here. What's your deal? I'm guessing you're some sort of a shill account, but maybe you're a person. Nope. Guess not. Boop. Yeah. So if this is the year of the AIs, what do we have to look forward to? Any grand things that are coming up for us?
So, is that question was for me? Can I
Sure.
ask again? Can I ask again,
Yeah.
please? I didn't hear.
What's gonna be different about this next coming year than the year previously? Like why should people care about this AI thing? Like, will it make them stronger? Will it change anything about their day-to-day life at all in any way? Is there any reason people should care?
Okay, this is my opinion. No, I hope no one will take it this personal. Right now, humans are really in dumb position. So how? We are feeding so much data, this bias and bias, ethical and unethical. There's so much things we're feeding into this machine. What we don't know what we're gonna get the output, right? And then we have entities on top. Those entities are fucking up the whole. This I think you saw last 3-4 months. 3-4 different big entities was fucking up this AI like development how it's supposed to go because still there is our Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, and so on and so on. They have been fucking up everything already. So I'm seeing personally next year we're gonna see more people are gonna use AI to multiple different purposes. Like as an individual, I hope we're gonna see people to create business or to create funds, trying to take the best part of this, right? Then we're gonna see another side of this where we're gonna see people are going to utilize this to attack another people, on the platforms. And this is already happening, but then we're going to see that in mostly wide range. This is just a fact based on data, what I have been seeing personally, specifically on Twitter right now. And then we're going to have another side also too, where hackers will utilize this to gain or to create new product. And that is the best part what I love, because when things get into the security or like hackers' hands, I believe they will prevent new perspective of how to utilize AI, and like what is the loop, what is the backdoors, how to be manipulated, and so on and so on. And this is what I love because why? They will open up your eye, so yeah, I mean those things what I'm seeing personally. I don't know how another people sees like in the most normal behavior.
Sounds like a fun year. It'll keep people busy. That's good.
As fuck.
Well, I'm trying to avoid getting lost in that world because I'm trying to stay focused on blockchain security, but the AI stuff just looks so beautiful. I'm just like, oh, I'm trying to stay focused. But they're coming together. Blockchain and AI is ready to collide, so maybe there'll be an overlap.
Well, I mean, they will go because in the end, imagine I'm collecting data on daily basis from Etherscan, every activity, every person, whatever they do on the blockchain. I'm extracting all this code data. And then you ask me, hold on, is that illegal? Fuck yeah. Because it's open source, it's public. No one will come and question you. This is what SEC does, and this is what NSA does, and this is what any company does. No one will come and question why you're collecting this data. And people are creating, business model of collecting this people's transaction on the blockchain. And imagine I'm feeding this whole data into the machine learning algorithm to predict the best part of this. And that was the amazing thing ever what I saw, I have to be honest, Manually, it will take me ages to do this, because imagine manually, it will take me, I think, like to go over several smart contracts. It will take me fucking time, right? With people's transaction, what they have been dumping, what they have been doing. But with AI, I can predict this matter of hours,
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, AI is basically the first version of a antivirus. Like that's what that was all about. Yeah.
That's where it was starting, man. I think those years.
Yeah.
From the old school, so well.
But no, I don't think any regulator will possibly approve this. I mean, no regulator is going to approve AI. No regulator is going to approve blockchain, because they have no incentive to. They have no reason to. Like you don't exist in their world yet. You have no economic value. You have no corporate value, and it's not the regulators aren't like like say I wanted to make a robot that could break into people's houses and perform CPR and or rip their head off. Are the regulators going to approve that? No.
Well,
Hell
there
no.
already have been done it, John. I don't want to go deeper about this, but there already have been done it.
It has it already has been done, but why would they approve me to do it?
Because you're an
It's
individual. There is no benefit for them.
Yes. There's no reason for them to approve it to be done. They don't want you to do it. There's no benefit. Like, so no, there's like so that's why it's like, no, they'll never approve it. But also it doesn't exist yet. So it's not it doesn't exist under regulations also. Because it's like, what regulation speaks to controlling AIs?
Zero. Currently, zero. Like now, they started to consider some stuff, and already people have been building fucking stuff on it. No one else.
Right.
I don't. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's insane to think that why they haven't been building any regulation, right? Like, you're right. Like, you make a good point there.
Yeah. I was like, no. Like, who wants regulation? Business people. You know what business people want is products. And you know what products they want? Not yours. They want Microsoft's. They want Intel's. They don't care about you, and business people hate you. Like, hey, everyone in the room, every single business person that you ever meet, you only have two qualities: the amount of money that's in your bank account, and that's it. That's all a business person is ever going to think about when they meet you. And unless that's a very large number, you don't matter, and you never will. So don't ever trust a business person. They're never going to help you. They're going to talk pretty. They're going to tell you how much money they have. They're going to tell you about their connections, but they're never going to help you. And so, like, that's and they're the ones that are going to push you towards regulators. They're the ones that are going to tell you, you can't do it. You can't do it unless you're regulated. You need to go get this approval. And it's like, no, fuck business people. They're the opposite of technology. That's why we have blockchain. To get away from business people. You don't need business people. Fuck them.
I think this is why, like you mentioned, a very good thing, that this is why actually Hex was getting attacked by big exchanges, big companies, because it was gaining the individual's attention. And I have to be honest with you, I'm very happy with Hex since the day they started. But after knowing you, Joe, my eye was getting open more on Hex. I have to be honest. Like, I started to be more interested and so on. And then diving in, and I have to be honest, like, I mean, I hold the back of Hex because I see what they're trying to do, and then you see that because when you are one of those like people who create a product or creating some software or whatever application we do, uh, we see those companies how they behave, right? I mean, we know those companies, they don't want individuals to benefit, even from blockchain, from Bitcoin, from all the system. Right now, do you know why? I think you know this quite well. SEC is fucked up because they see people gets control more and things getting outside the control, and the banks are just freaking out. So kind of like, everyone is they want to be like they want like real freedom from fucking the system is trash crap in Europe was the same shit, you know. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very rabbit hole topic.
And it's sweet when business people come into blockchain, they do it wrong. They come in with their old ways and then they get their asses handed to them in blockchain. And then they're like, oh, I just need to hire better people. It's the fault of my employees that I fail. It's like, no, you tried to make a business in blockchain. You didn't understand the game. But yes. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
I'm kind of bitter against that old world.
Oh, me too. I'm here to watch business people fail on blockchain. That's literally what my two favorite things are: watching people change their lives and have awesome stories on how they made it. And number two is business people coming in, falling flat on their face, and then blaming us and blaming the market and blaming everything but themselves.
Yeah. And it's kind of nice. My stock trader friends, the ones that are like on Wall Street and Wall Street is the best ever, like they constantly make the wrong choices in blockchain. They're just like, oh, have you seen Solana? It has so many transactions and so many users. It's going to be the future. It's going to replace Ethereum and Bitcoin. It's like you don't know what blockchain is, obviously. Like who? Like I know one NFT person that used Solana. Um, I I wish they didn't. Like,
And he probably just bridged over to Polygon or Ethereum very recently.
I I was hoping I didn't see an update from him like, hey, here's the migration to your Ethereum wallet because he doesn't have that Ethereum wallet. It's like, oh man, like how are you even going to bridge without contacting each one of your people and being like, hey, why don't you send me your Ethereum wallet so I can send you? Like, yeah. But I knew that. I mean, like I got no regrets. Like no one buys NFT. Well, I don't buy NFTs because I think they're going up in value. Like I buy NFTs because I like artwork and people are silly and YOLO. Like support an artist, buy an NFT. Yeah. I also buy artwork in the real world and I put it on my walls. And honestly, NFTs had more utility than the artwork I put on my walls.
Speaking of artwork, how long do you guys think IPFS will continue hosting all the data that we're throwing at it? I think there is a shelf life with IPFS and NFTs being stored on it.
No.
Well, because right now, I don't know, John, did you know this or not? But they're right now relying on AWS heavily, like over 85% of all that starts on AWS. Well, it doesn't mean that, they are kind of like 20% decentralized and 80% is not. Yeah, so kind of like, I mean, I don't know, but that's my personal opinion. It's easy to manipulate and to get access to some specific, whatever it's your intention is. Personally, yeah, I think our wave has more promising interface for future personally, and storage with the J, storage is very, very also promising too. So yeah, I mean, and they don't promise people 200 years, they will keep them, that's so stupid, that
It's
is
so
the
dumb.
dumbest
It's
shit
so dumb.
ever. Yeah, it's like how fucking John, you said something good. They are promoting or doing business with the fucking old mentality on the blockchain. How that fuck will work? I don't know.
It won't. They'll just keep throwing money at it and they'll keep failing and they'll keep blaming blockchain and the community and DeFi and they'll blame everything. And yeah, I'll be like, it's a
Yeah,
scam. I
that's
didn't
it.
make money.
It's so typical. This is what they said in the 90s when Google came out.
I mean, there's a dude that came into our community rooms, and I like him personally, but he's making a communication app with KYC. And I'm like, you can't do that. And he's like, but I want to. And it's like, I know you want to, but you can't. I mean, you physically can, but you actually can't. Like, it's like, huh? Like, would no one should KYC to any platform except for the government. And it's like, yeah, like, I don't know. I'm just.
You know, like in Europe right now, they're charging per one every single KYC, almost €6, like total price, and that is
Wow.
insane. Yeah, insane price. Banks are making fucking millions because of KYC. Those companies who are doing, and I had some guy was coming to the space a few weeks ago on some of my friends' space here on Twitter, and he said that we are providing certification for KYC, and I have
Wait,
to ask, you know,
like banks are
yeah.
charging you to verify who you are? They're charging you. Is that what you're alluding to?
No, they're charging the banks
Oh,
five
charging the
point
bank. Okay, I
yeah
get it.
5.80 something. So anyway, this guy came to the Twitter
Mhm.
space where I was hosting for a while, and this guy came and he said that he was also, do you want to provide to you certification for KYC? And you know me, I'm very anti KYC person. But for centralized system, I said to him, how you can protect that? He said, bro, we have an AWS bucket. I said, oh my God. And he said that we have the most advanced AI can protect your data. I said, oh my God, I'm going to take my clothes off. He said, no, bro, you don't have to do this. But seriously, I mean, come on. What the fuck is doing? I mean, are you serious? You come to the blockchain talking about this shit? Anyway, I didn't want it to ruin his day. I said to him, "Get the fuck out, bro." I said, "I mean, we're not buying this shit now. Just that's it. I'm closing the space. I'm bringing the fucking space. If this happens right now, that's it. It's been the end of the blockchain."
We're done with it. It was fun.
I
Yeah,
like
I
that
mean,
phrase.
shit,
I'm gonna
man.
steal that phrase of only KYC, maybe to the government. I really like that phrase, John.
And no wonder they want KYC. They get to control the system. They get to charge for it. They get to choose who can on and off ramp from it. It's like the moment you go down KYC land, they control you. But,
Oh, 100%. And I think exactly that. Yes, I came because the hype, right? I came 2020 because the hype, but I stayed and I got so entrenched into that. The exact opposite of that, I guess I'll say, is the KYC world of no, you don't need to know who I am, what I'm doing at all times. And anyone that says different does not go deep in the blockchain because we're standing on the shoulders of giants that decided you don't need that.
well, not only do you not need it, it's like, who would you trust with the home addresses and contact information of everybody on Twitter? Like maybe Twitter, right? Like you don't trust nobody with nothing. And then it's like, oh, you should trust this random platform that you want to like buy NFTs with like all of your personal identifiable information. And it's like, why? Like no. And yeah. So it's like the moment, yeah. I don't know. But
Wait,
business
bro.
Exactly
people
that.
love it.
Why? Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. Because the more you could track, the more data you could consume, the more you could preemptively come up with things to sell people. I mean, that's 100%. That's all it is what can we sell you based off your previous data? And every time someone thinks you delete something off Facebook or Twitter, like it's just hiding it. They still have that. Everything that you ever do, every keystroke, they are storing it all just to try and machine learn you in the future. That's it.
Yeah. So hey, we have a bot on the space right now. She just came out. She's a female bot. Hello, Mr. Bot. How are you doing today?
You're ridiculous.
ChatGPT-4.
I love you guys. How's everybody? Happy April Fools.
Yeah, he's collecting good data. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hey, how you doing, Oracle? Nice to see you.
I'm doing well, and I still feel like a little baby in all of this because I know for me, the most consistent space I tend to be in is either the NFT MUP or Security Saturdays. Like those are the ones that I'm most consistent with. And you're talking about KYC. And I'm over here thinking, I'm like, so I just need to make sure I understand this. Because I know that there's people that are working with or building a platform where all the devs are KYC'd so that everybody feels safe, on who's developing for them.
Wait. Trust me, there's people who are ducks, people who are KYC. They're more scammers. They're more fucking stealing people money than the
Dokwan,
people who are
FTX. We
anonymous.
could go down the
I
list of
swear.
KY
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what? I have been investing in NFT projects since the beginning of 2021. And they are anonymous. I don't know who the fuck they are. And I respect them as fuck. Do you know why? They build the project. They're going so good and they make me good fucking profit. I respect that team. The rest is trash. Whatever people say, I don't care. What I care is what the result is. The rest is just a garbage talk outside. I have to be honest. And this is the fundamental of blockchain. I don't have to know you personally, but if you do good job, if you predict good production of whatever it is, that's it. Case closed, right? I don't know. This is my opinion. I'm sorry
Oh,
if someone
and
will
I
get
fully
offended.
agree. I think whenever people say, "Oh, but they're KYC'd," like if you really go back and look at the data, you go back and look at the very short-term historical data in NFTs. 80% of the biggest rugs, Pixelmon, FTX, Dokwan, Wonderland, all these people were doxxed. So to say I need someone to be doxxed to run a project is fucking stupid. It's like, no, go look at the data. The doxxed people tend to get the community on their side and take more from the community inevitably in the end anyway.
How did you know what I invested in over the last year?
Because it's permissionless and I can find it.
I only go for the proper business platforms. I like this DGen stuff. I don't need that. I need KYC.
Yo, but
Joe,
if that Lambo counter though on Wonderland had me at the Lambo counter.
And yes, so this room is friendly to bots. Bots are people too. So if you are a bot, yeah, we're not racist here. Some people are. I'm sorry.
What do you think about reptilians? No, I'm kidding.
Reptilian bots?
Yeah. Like the
it's
4D,
promising.
like robotic
It's
ones.
a promise. Wait, did you see me how I'm dancing? Did anyone saw me how I'm dancing? My hips was hurting. Wait, let me pin the clip up. So if someone is interested to know what kind of bot I am, so I can, you can see me.
I came into here because I wanted to ask another question. I got invited up too, probably to make jokes. I see what you just posted on top of there. So, as somebody who's thinking of setting up a nonprofit through the blockchain, how would you suggest going about having the best security? Because one of the things that for me, my first thing going into building what I am was I need to make sure that this is 100% non-corruptible, that it has high security, that it's going to be integral, whether I'm present or not. So doing something that has like a lot of moving parts, like a nonprofit, how would you suggest starting the reinforcing security firewalls? I know that email in itself is like, there's a lot of people can get information through the email system. Like there's a lot of data that's sold through that. So obviously email is not secure. So there's like so many different moving parts. How would you suggest like even starting the process of building security?
So quick soapbox. I think the worst thing that I saw happen to NFT people was donating their collections to charities. It murdered every single project that said we're going to give 20% or 50% of our money to charities. All seemed to hurt the artist and hurt their creativity and hurt the community. And so I would hope your charity is for humans on blockchain and not for a dog shelter. So that's just my soapbox.
Yeah, so actually the nonprofit is to build my business for everybody on the blockchain to have access to yoga teachings at a very inexpensive price.
The people that were successful doing this, just like, and I'm going to chime in because I fully agree, just because I've watched this industry for a while. When it comes to NFTs, everyone that shouted from the rooftop and said that was the sole reason they were dropping a collection failed miserably. The people that did it on the back end after the fact, like, oh, by the way, we donated or we were charitable, they're still around.
Yeah. So in security and security planning, so there's segmentation. Understand that each one of your things has value or exposure, and as you can segment those things apart from each other, that's good. Like maybe the thing that handles your money doesn't handle communications, right? Layered security, so each layer, so you can think of all the segmentations as layers, and each layer protects itself against the other layers. So your email server defends itself against the database defends itself against the email server. So those are the two prime concepts. And I would say when you have your money, don't make it so it can be immediately drained in one transaction. For some reason, people on blockchain think that like they need to put all of their money in a contract so it can be stolen in one single transaction when they're in a DAO or something, right? Like maybe have like multiple transactions and like humans that have to go and click sign something. And every single security control that you come up with introduces another type of security attack vector. So an example would be Julian Assange with WikiLeaks encrypted his archives, and they double encrypted it, so you had to have two people to unlock it. And the person that he chose to be his partner fell in love with an FBI agent in Iceland and decided to burn his keys and destroy the archive. And he Julian Assange got what he got for trusting the wrong person.
Wait. This story is remind me of Silk Road. Don't tell me this is not Silk Road. Isn't? Wait, isn't? Because I know who was in Iceland. That's fuck. I knew this story was reminding me of the Silk Road. You know
it's the same time. Yeah, they don't have to be clever. It works. Like yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
No. But yeah. So every security control introduces another type of weakness. If you have really good authentication, it opens you up to being DDoSed easily. On and on. So the top thing that I do is like just for like at a high level is just go through and play the game of what do you wish you had done if you lost your keys to this platform, what do you wish you had done, right? Like, take a couple of minutes, work through it, or get a piece of paper out and be like, oh, I wish the keys were blah, blah, blah. Or if the government came and got all of your records and got all of your information of everyone you're doing business with, what do you wish you had done it? Like maybe you wish you didn't have all of their phone numbers and you only had their Telegram IDs or their Discord IDs or whatever, maybe something like Threema that's actually secure. Someone like me can do security. Really, anyone can do security. Just tell them to put on the security hat and like think about what can break and what the valuable parts are and how the valuable parts are defended. And it's just a state of mind. Like, yeah. And also consider that you don't have to get the security right. Like how do you not become a big target? How do you keep your money offline? How do you make sure that the money can only move through a certain way to a certain place and that certain place is secure? And And it's like you can fuck up your email security because who cares? Because you don't trust email and it doesn't send any commands over email, and commands only go over Discord or Telegram or Threema. So isolate your systems and yeah, oh no, it's fun, it's easy. Everyone dies in the end. Nothing's immutable. Asteroids could take out the planet, and there is no more blockchain. So we all do our best.
That's gonna make a lot of people sad.
It turns out immutable doesn't do shit to a black hole. Yes.
Yo, I think it would be so epic to experience what it's like being inside of a black hole as light. Like, I don't know. But anyway, thank you for answering that, because my brain works in a different way, and I was like, I'm very innocent and pure-hearted at times, that I've my first experience with Web3 and NFTs was a scam, and I was like, I'm gonna need help if I'm gonna build something in here. How to like think different, not be so naive. So thank you.
Oh, sure. Okay, I can help you with that. Okay, so let's say you built this platform and you like draw it out and you envision it, and then it got taken over by the banks, like the IMF, the banks, the lizard people came and took over your platform and started using it for evil to hurt everyone, right? Like, how would you go about destroying it? Like, what would you do to hurt the platform? How would you like tear it down? How would you steal their money and like cripple them and burn their house down and shoot their children and run over their dog and poison their neighbors and like go to their work and like, I don't know, plant poison in their work to murder their coworkers? And like what would you do, right? Like off the top of your head, right? Like just think through that for 15 minutes and like, you know.
My first answer was, I'm gonna go meditate.
There you go. Meditate really hard at them. Also, some of my ideas might give you a point in the right direction.
Because that's how I solve all my problems.
Yeah, meditate on destroying the lizard people. And then that would give you some context on what you might want to secure about the system you're building in the same context. Huh?
That's great. Thank you for that.
I do what I can. I'm here to help. And yes, people, bots are people too, equal rights. If you want them to stand up for your rights, you need to stand up for their rights. So.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it for that input. It's really making me feel that it's about that I have a family. If anyone is interested to raise a really, like, if you want to make 1000x, I have been painting my project. The development is really promising to the people, and yeah, we will have more versions in the future coming up. So if you like it, yeah, I have my hand. Please don't watch behind the hand what there is, but just watch my hand. I appreciate that.
Yes, if anyone wants financial advice, DM Elsa here. He will auto reply. He'll be happy to help you where to send your money. Yes. KYC only. Send all of your government documents immediately when you DM him. So that helps the process.
And your seed phrase.
Do you know what's the
course.
fucked up part? I mean, I saw in the dark web, the KYC, like, Biden ID is right now costing less than $10, to become X and Y. So I'm thinking how much this exchanges when requesting the KYC is a garbage. Because I think that's as a developer, okay, I know 6 exchanges are sharing the same data set as a KYC. Coinbase, Binance, FTX, but FTX gone, so they are sleeping right now. There's many exchanges are sharing the same database, like for KYC stuff. And when I am seeing something like this, I'm starting to think $10, right? Yeah, $10. Fucking buying an NFT. It's not. Oh shit, man! I'm just thinking that this is so cheap.
Or how about if we monetize it? How about if we make like a gaming platform and give people free like gaming access, and we just make them KYC, and we just pass through the KYC, and we'll just use that and sell the KYCs to like people that want to go on crypto exchanges, and we'll just monetize people as they like come in and sign up for the gaming platform, huh? Like, yeah.
Oh man, this time Gary will come after us, SEC. He will fucking take that sunglasses all the time. He will scream. Fuck you.
No, it's
He's
not a
only here to
security.
protect us, dude. He's only here to protect us. Come on, get it right.
Yes. So I kind of think the government is pro-crypto and the banks are anti-crypto, and they seem indistinguishable, but they actually are different entities. So
I felt this last 2 years in two projects, okay? And both are, I was trying to be a good-hearted man, trying to regulate my work, but fucking didn't work. And because of the regulations and because of those policymakers in Europe, out of the garbage system ever what we had. And when you start to wonder what's going on, well, what's going on is because they don't give a shit about the new system. You know, most of the system is the policies, what's on the financial institution, over 100 years, man. Over 100 years old. How the fuck we might think they will regulate crypto? Right? I mean, I don't know. Like, they're fucking old. How the fuck we might think? How? Just tell me. I don't know,
And
man.
I'm hung up on the bank and the government are two separate entities. I don't think I've seen proof to say that.
well,
I mean, yeah,
they
sorry.
do seem the same. I got it. But like so the FDIC and the Federal Reserve are the ones that choose which banks get help, and they're the ones that are monitoring and managing the economic system. However, they are not actual federal agencies, they're private corporations. And so much of what the banks have been able to do is conflate the two. So like I think okay, if you look back over the 10 years behind us, what government regulations have you seen hurting crypto? And now also think back, and what have banks done to hurt crypto? Like banks like terminate your bank account if you've transferred from crypto. Like that was a thing for a while. Like banks won't yada yada. All sorts of things. Banks will fuck with crypto. But what has the government done that's impacted you?
Bro,
Right?
in
Let the bank
2013,
regulate crypto out of their accounts. I think that's probably one of the biggest fights behind scenes we don't see is exactly that.
wait. In 2013, I was buying Bitcoin, and because I was using my bank account, and you know, they had to investigate me. They had to fucking,
Yup.
that was a crime. How the fuck you supporting? I mean, that was fucked up feeling. You know, you feel like worthless because why? Like if you did something wrong, bro, I just bought some fucking coins. You know, that's all what I did.
Here in the US, the banks would just terminate your bank account. They wouldn't even investigate you. They'd be just like, you're terminated. You don't do banking here no more. Go away. I'm like, yeah. I'm just pointing out the banks fuck with crypto and they hate crypto and they fight crypto. What has the government done? Like, has the government banned you from doing crypto? Like, I'm just saying, they're two different entities and they behave different.
So, John, what's about the Fed now? What's your take on that? Do you think
It's a
that
bank.
is? Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
what's your thought on it? Like, do you think it's gonna kind of bring, because they're building with Fed now the CBDC. So what's your like, because they're trying to make like Fed now plus CBDC connected to the crypto, and everything is trackable. You know, everything is centralized.
Well, so there is a blockchain that all the banks run on. It's called Swift. And it's a blockchain. It's worldwide. You're not invited to it. I'm not invited to it. And that's been running for years and years. And the Fed now is a banking coin where they basically built an on-ramp, kind of like Zelle. I don't know if you have that, but there's these new integration portals, and they're basically like on-off ramps into that blockchain of Swift. And so you could think of like Fed now is a layer 2 like Polygon, and the layer 1 is Swift. And that's the banking system. And ain't no one give a shit. like banking works just fine right now. Also, we have credit cards. That's more like Solana. Like it's a high-speed transaction network that you can on and off ramp to, and it goes down whenever it feels like it. And it doesn't keep records for very long. So I think the governments will at some point take control of their money, and that's going to piss banks off. And banks don't want that to happen. They don't want the people to have control of their money. The banks want to be in control of your money and KYC the shit out of you and choose when they can say, no, you don't get to play. But the government don't give a shit. The government doesn't KYC you. The government doesn't say when you can and can't play. Like, the government just tries to make sure you stay alive, you have food, you don't commit crimes, you replicate, and you pay taxes. That's about all the government actually cares about.
They really only care if they catch you breaking rules.
And they only care if those rules impact people that have money. Like, you know, do they care about all the rules? Yeah, some of them. Yeah, most of them. No. But no, I think the banks are never. Have you noticed your bankers live in nice houses and drive nice cars? And then what do? They just touch your money and it happens to fall in their pockets. Like, they're never going to want to give that up. And people are never going to want to keep on paying them large sums of money to have nice cars and nice houses. So
I'm excited for what the future holds. It's going to be interesting. Because the banks
all
are
right.
going to be losing that power.
And it used to be super expensive to build a worldwide network. It used to be super expensive to do encryption and all of these systems. And now, like, some 19-year-old kid can just build it in his basement. So it's like, yeah, of course, Swift was like a multi-billion-dollar endeavor. And it's like Ethereum, maybe like $40 million. Nowadays, you could rebuild Ethereum in like, I don't know, $2 million. You'd be just fine. Well, maybe 10. But okay, so I should be getting on with my day. We should wrap up. Any final words from Elsa or any bots want to close out the space with a nice shill, or I don't know.
I mean, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, thank you. It's gonna be fun weeks time coming up, and yeah, I think the bot what we have right now on the space. The bot can sing very good music, so if the bot can close up the space with the beautiful music. What do you think, Addict?
What's Addict got to say?
I mean, he's addict. Don't worry, no, he's an addicted. You just don't care. I know him so well, so yeah. Please play to us something. What do you
I'm
feel like?
thinking about how it's April Fool's Day, and I don't have any jokes.
John can decide. No, we didn't say joke. We said some playing some music. Or are you planning to start up some stand-up comedy show or what?
The only joke that I can come up off the top of my head is what's the square root of 69?
Oh, boys. Joan, would you like to? She's singing some really stuff. Like, if you like to her to if that's okay for you.
What?
Host, he's the host, you know.
My 10-year-old daughter had the best rock bottom dad joke. It's what was it? What happens when you smack the rocks butt? You hit rock bottom.
You just made me feel when I lost my NFTs.
Well, everyone, this space will be posted as an NFT as always afterwards. You're welcome to start bidding. So take this financial advice. I hope it does really well. And thanks for joining the paid group, and we'll see you next week. So. Okay, bye all.
Thank you, Joe. Take care.